why I went there.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to be fair to Rip, he's not against women's wrestling. I think he was more against divas wrestling more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, you was a real wrestler though.
Yeah.
But
and you never made me feel in any way that you.
No, most of them
me.
are one of Johnny Ace's fantasies or something out of a modeling book or something. And I just shake my goddamn head. They didn't know anything about wrestling. Oh, I'd never seen it before. And I'm saying, what the fuck are you doing here then? God damn. Well, I'm trying to toughen you up because you're going to go from off the street pretty much to getting brought up. And there's nothing like jealous fucking bitches.
Hey, easy.
They're going to what I mean is girls.
Yeah.
And they're going to try. If you're hot, they hate you. If they can wrestle, they hate you even more. So they're going to do everything like voting you off the island to set you up to get rid of your ass because you're, and that's the way it was.
Yeah. I mean, Rip,
but that's
trying
to get you to
generation. The more old school generation, absolutely. Yeah.
So when you were training and you signed pretty quickly and came to OVW though, did you know at that time? I mean, was it mostly divas at that time? It was called Divas, right? And all that kind of stuff.
I mean, there were mostly divas on the WWE roster.
Yeah, so you knew that going in, kind of.
Yeah, I knew that going in. But to be fair, what I fell in love with was the wrestling. The Trish, the Victoria, Nydia, Molly Holly, all those girls were there. Yeah. That's what made me so hooked.
I knew that. I mean, I kind of assumed that, knew that. I just, when you got to like WWE or even OVW with some of those girls, you weren't shocked though when you got there and like, holy shit, I just signed up for Diva Search. Like you kind of had the idea. So
I didn't at that time.
I know, but I mean, because you were like a real wrestler. So how did you? I guess my question is, when you got there, how did you kind of try to differentiate yourself? Like, hey, I'm not a diva. I'm a wrestler. Like, this is not what I want to do.
I mean, I will say it was a shocker because I signed because I thought I was hired as a wrestler. And my very first match ended up being a bra and panties match in Hamilton or somewhere in Canada, very close to my house. And I remember thinking, I was on the phone with Johnny and he's like, okay, since you're so close by, we're going to have you debut. It was a non-televised event, but it was a live event. And he said, you're going to wrestle Dawn Marie and it's going to be a bra and panties match. And I remember thinking, looking over at my boyfriend at the time going, okay, I've never done this before. I didn't even know what to do. I had to pretty much ask around and they said, bring some clothing that if you wear shorts, which I normally did, you got to wear pants so you're more covered up and all of these, expectations. So I just did what I was supposed to do. And when I got there, it happened. They put me over so I didn't have to be stripped down. Right. Which was a relief to me. But then once I came around back to TV, because you would do live events and then you'd end up at a TV on Raw on Monday night. And I remember Johnny Ace pulling me into the office after, doing a couple of those. And he said, Gail, you're the baby face. And even though you lost, you got to please the fans. And I was like, wait, what does this mean? And he goes, you got to strip down. And I just remember being mortified and terrified. And some of the girls gave me some tips, on how to do it. And, years later, you have pictures of that from fans coming up to you with these pictures from what you did in the past and saying, sign this. And I just remember going, nope.
Oh, really?
Not going to do that. You're young. You just you think your dreams are being handed to you and you want to make your dreams come true. So you do whatever you're supposed to do.
That's exactly where I was going with that question. You saved me right there. That's what I was kind of wanting to know. Like, hey, I'm a real wrestler. Now I got to do bra and panties matches.